These are the 10 best cashback credit cards that'll easily give you hundreds of dollars back every single year with pretty much no effort on your end once you add some of these cards to your wallet. So you can use all the cash back to pay for a bunch of dinners out to your favorite restaurants. You can put that cash back towards some holiday gifts at the end of the year, or you can just use that free cash back on pretty much anything you want. Now, each credit card is gonna get better and better as we go down this list here with extra spending multipliers and even some hidden features and benefits. So let's just get right into it and start with credit card number 1 that I think is the easiest to use because it just gets a flat 2% cash back on everything with no annual fee, and that is the Citi Double Cash. The Citi Double Cash technically earns 1% cash back when you buy something and then another 1% back when you pay off the balance for that purchase. But since the most important thing to remember with credit card usage is to always pay them off on time and in full every single month to avoid paying interest, that basically means this is an easy 2% cashback card when you're using it the right way responsibly. Now, if for some reason you do have some existing credit card debt out there where you're paying a crazy high interest rate, then the Citi Double Cash could help you out a lot because this credit card right here is currently offering a 0% intro APR on balance transfers. So that means if you want to transfer your balance over to this credit card, you can give yourself a year and a half to pay down that debt without those extra interest charges, but you will have to pay a 3% balance transfer fee. So again, make sure you stay out of credit card debt in the first place and don't even use credit cards if you can't do that. Now, other than that, the Citi Double Cash doesn't really do that much else. So that means no sign-up bonus or no other additional features, which is why it's kind of here at the bottom of my list. But if you do spend a lot on miscellaneous things, or you just want to get a simple 2% cash back on everything, then the Citi Double Cash is probably the simplest but still really good cashback card on the market. Now, if you spend a lot of money online, then this next credit card for number 9 here on our list might be sort of a surprising and actually underrated step up from the Citi Double Cash, and I'm going to explain why. So that card is going to be the PayPal Cashback MasterCard. So this PayPal credit card is kind of similar to the Double Cash card because it also has no sign-up bonus, but it also has no annual fee, and it gets 2% cash back on everything. But if you're shopping online and you have the option to pay with PayPal at checkout, then you're actually going to be able to get 3% cash back on those PayPal purchases. And to be honest, I'd say that 99% of any shopping that I do online gives me that option to check out with PayPal. So this could be a solid choice as a catch-all card that earns 3% cash back on a lot of stuff. Also, that cash back is earned daily, so you have faster access to that money. And the cash back is also unlimited, which is nice because some other cashback credit cards out there do set a ceiling on how much cash back you can earn per quarter or per year. However, again, I really do wish that this card had a standard sign-up bonus of some kind because that's where you're gonna capture the most value really quickly upfront when you're using credit cards. So this next credit card that comes in at number 8 on this list does have a good sign-up bonus, and it also compares really well to the last 2 cards here, and that's gonna be the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Now, Wells Fargo might be one of the lower rated banks out there just because of a bunch of issues they've had in the past that I'm not gonna get into here, but I still try to be completely unbiased when deciding what the best credit cards are out there for these types of videos, and their Active Cash credit card is still one of the better cashback cards on the market. So it's gonna have no annual fee, it earns an unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases, plus this card is finally one that does have a sign-up bonus, which is for $200 after spending $500 in the first 3 months. There's also a 0% APR intro offer that's currently for 15 months, which works for both balance transfers and new purchases made on this card during that time. But I don't want 0% offers to be a focus for this video, so I'm not really going to talk much more about them here. But I did talk about 0% cards in another video about credit card mistakes that I'm going to link to down below if you want to check that out after watching this. Also, the Wells Fargo Active Cash has another nice bonus feature where if you pay your monthly cell phone bill with this card, then you're going to get up to $600 of cell phone protection after a $25 deductible. And that's going to be for things like damage or theft of your cell phone. Now, I want to stick with Wells Fargo just for a minute here for credit card number 7 on this list. So the next card is going to be the Wells Fargo Autograph card, which is also another pretty underrated card, just in my opinion. Again, as long as you're cool with having Wells Fargo cards. But I wanted to mention it here in this video because people that do have the autograph card seem to really like it from the comments that I get here on my channel. So this card also has no annual fee, and it gives you a 20,000 point sign-up bonus that's worth $200 after spending $1,000 in the first 3 months. But where this card really shines are its spending multipliers, where it's gonna get you unlimited 3x points per dollar, which is worth 3% cash back on restaurant restaurants, travel, gas, transit, streaming, and phone plans. So that is a lot of different ways to earn 3% back. Also, with paying for your phone plan on this card, not only do you earn 3% cash back, but you also get a similar cell phone protection plan that I talked about on the Active Cash card before. So that's for up to $600 in protection when you pay for your phone bill with this card. But one note on getting 3% back on streaming is that it looks like it's only for popular streaming services, which are going to be defined on the Wells Fargo website. And I did notice a few common streaming platforms that were missing there. So just look into that for yourself, because not all streaming could be earning you 3% back. Also, there's going to be no foreign transaction fees on the Wells Fargo Autograph card, which is honestly kind of a rare feature for a no annual fee credit card. But if you want to get a cashback card with a more popular credit card issuer like Chase that also could be a really good cashback option, then this next credit card at number 6 could be worth checking out. So that's going to be the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. Now, the Freedom Unlimited is going to be an interesting card here because Chase markets it as a cashback card over on their website, even though it really can be used in either a cashback or a travel setup since it earns Chase Ultimate Rewards points. But for this video on cashback cards, we're going to say that we're focusing only on a cashback setup. Now, at its core, I've always viewed the Freedom Unlimited as a catch-all card for miscellaneous expenses, and that's because it gets a flat 1.5% back on all purchases. That's obviously lower than 2% back on cards like the Citi Double Cash or the Wells Fargo Active Cash, but the Chase Freedom Unlimited also is going to get you 5% back on travel booked through Chase and 3% back on dining and drugstore purchases as well, which is pretty nice to see. On top of all that, the Freedom Unlimited also comes with a nice standard sign-up bonus that right now looks like it's for $200 after spending $500 in the first 3 months when you check out Chase's public offer on their website. But I've seen this offer change a lot over the years here, so sometimes you might see offers for $200 plus 5% back on gas or groceries for a year, and sometimes you might see offers that are for only $150 of cash back. Or there's even sometimes an interesting offer out there that some people might prefer, where instead of an upfront sign-up bonus that you earn as one amount, instead you could earn an extra 1.5% back on top of all those spending multipliers that I just talked about. So that would be 6.5% back on travel booked through Chase, 4.5% back on dining and drugstores, and then 3% back on all other purchases. Now, those boosted spending multipliers on this kind of an offer right here would only apply to your first $20,000 of spending on this card during your first year with it. So the max you could earn is actually only $300 of cash back, which is not too bad at all. And again, these offers are always changing out there. So if you want to learn more or see what the current offers are out there right now for this card or most of the other credit cards that we're talking about in this video, then we've got links down below in the description that you can always go ahead and check out. And as always, those links are the best way to help support the free content here on this channel. So thank you to all of you that use those links because it truly does mean a lot to me. Now, the Chase Freedom Unlimited also has no annual fee. It gets 5% back on Lyft through March of 2025 and comes with a few other partner benefits as well from brands like DoorDash and Instacart at the moment. And it even comes with some additional protections like trip cancellation and interruption insurance and a few other good things like that. Now, even though all the credit cards so far here in this video have been pretty good with getting cash back of around 1.5 to 3% back in a bunch of useful categories, these next few credit cards here as we move up this list are gonna get as high as 5% back in some really good ways. So next here, credit card number 5 on this list of the best cashback credit cards is the Chase Amazon Prime Visa card. So this is obviously a card that's going to be focused on getting cash back from Amazon and some other Amazon owned brands, but it's also a card that's got some other really nice features that don't get talked about enough. So first of all, as of right now, as soon as you get approved, you're going to get a $100 Amazon gift card instantly loaded to your Amazon account. And that's pretty unique because that's going to be a sign-up bonus that does not require any sort of a minimum spend to get that. Now, you do need to be a Prime member to get this version of a few different Amazon cards that are out there right now, but this is by far the best Amazon card out of all those other ones, and most people already have Amazon Prime anyway in today's world where shopping with them gives you the best prices and the most convenience with the fastest shipping times. So Amazon Prime costs $14.99 per month or $139 per year as I'm filming this, but I think it's worth the price, and luckily the credit card here has no additional annual fee on top of that, so I think that's also a good feature. Now, with this Amazon Prime Visa, you're going to be getting 5% back at Amazon.com, Amazon Fresh, Whole Foods, and even on Chase travel purchases, but you're also going to be getting 2% back at gas stations, restaurants, and on local transit and commuting. So this is not a normal store credit card that a lot of other brands offer because you can actually use this Visa credit card pretty much anywhere you want to and even earn some good cash back in a lot of different ways. You've also got some limited travel protections here like baggage delay insurance and lost luggage reimbursement, as well as no foreign transaction fees, which again for a no annual fee credit card is pretty great. So yeah, if you're an Amazon Prime member and you're also shopping from Amazon a lot here, like most people are now nowadays, then this is definitely a no-brainer for anyone that wants a cashback credit card setup. Now, we've got one more Chase credit card here for number 4 on this list, which is another one of my personal favorites that I'm using all the time because, again, it earns Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which can then be redeemed for travel or cashback. So that's going to be the Chase Freedom Flex card. The Chase Freedom Flex also has no annual fee, and then similar to the Freedom Unlimited card that we talked about before, the Flex gets 5% back on travel that you book through Chase, and then 3% back on dining in drugstores, but it only gets 1% back on all other purchases compared to 1.5% back on the Unlimited. So the ways that it differs are going to be from rotating 5% categories, as well as some different sign-up bonuses that are changing from time to time. So the Freedom Flex gets 5% back in rotating quarterly categories that change up every 3 months, and they include areas of spending like grocery stores, gas stations, and a bunch of other useful everyday spending categories like that Chase decides on. And that actually includes Amazon, which was actually a 5% category on this card in the second quarter of this year. Now, you do have to activate these categories within your Chase account, or at least through an email they send you towards the beginning of every quarter. And also for each quarter, you're only going to be able to earn 5% back on up to $1,500 of combined spending in each of these categories before you actually go back down to getting only 1% back. Then for the sign-up bonus here, this also seems like it's always kind of changing out there, but typically the standard public offer on Chase's website is for around $200 of cash back after spending $500 in the first 3 months. But we've seen special offers like right now where in addition to that $200, you can also get 5% cash back on gas station purchases in your first year on up to $6,000 of spending for that. So my fiance and I actually both got a similar offer when we got this card, but we got 5% back on groceries for our first year. Also, like that Freedom Unlimited card, the Freedom Flex also has some additional travel protections like trip cancellation and interruption insurance and some other stuff like that that you can find on Chase's website. But unlike the Unlimited card, the Flex also comes with a cell phone protection benefit for up to $800 per claim and $1,000 per year in coverage, and that's for theft and damage after a $50 deductible. But yeah, this is an excellent card to get 5% cash back in a number of different ways through those rotating categories that change throughout the year. Now, there's another credit card out there that I actually can't mention by name in this video, but it also gets 5% cash back in these rotating quarterly categories just like the Freedom Flex. Plus, the card I'm referring to has a really good sign-up bonus of cashback matching for the first year that you have it. So effectively, it gets 10% back in those rotating categories for that first year you have this card with the way the matching bonus works. I've talked about this credit card before, and it's actually one of my favorite cards to recommend for beginners, but just for compliance reasons that I'm not going to get into here, I can't say it by name once again. So if you know what card I'm talking about, then feel free to go ahead and comment down below because I had to at least mention it here. Now, when it comes to getting 5% back, this next credit card at number 3 on our list might be even better than these rotating 5% cards because you can basically choose the way that it earns 5% back if you use it sort of strategically. So that is the City Custom Cash card, which is another favorite of mine that I carry with me in my wallet every day. So this City Custom Cash gets 5% back in your top eligible spend category each billing cycle on up to $500 of spending. And there's 10 eligible categories here, which are restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, select streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, and live entertainment. Now, all you gotta do is just choose one of those 10 categories, and then every single billing cycle, just only use it for that one thing where you know you're gonna be spending at least a good amount of money. And by using it in only one category and then nothing else, you basically just lock in getting 5% back on that one thing by default. So usually this ends up being the card that I use to refill my car with gas because I'm only using it for gas stations, and that's one of those 10 eligible categories, so I easily always get 5% back on that stuff. Also, this card has no annual fee, and it comes with a solid sign-up bonus that's typically for $200 of cash back after spending $1,500 in the first 6 months. But there's not much else to this card other than that, so I would say to check out the City Custom Cash if you're looking to sort of just fill in the gaps with whatever credit card setup you might have, because this card is a great deal. Now, these past few credit cards that earn 5% cash back are some of my favorites, but these next 2 cards here are just as good, if not better, because even though they earn 3% cash back, they earn that 3% cash back in many different good ways. So for credit card number 2 on this list that we're going to talk about first here, that is going to be the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card. This credit card also has no annual fee, just like everything else on this list, and it also comes with a sign-up bonus of $200 after you spend $2,000 in the first 6 months. But the spending multipliers are where I really like the Blue Cash Everyday card, because you're going to get 3% cash back on groceries at US supermarkets, US online retail purchases, and gas from US gas stations. Now, that 3% cash back is only going to be for your first $6,000 of spending in each one of those categories, which works out to be about $500 per month in typical spending on those things throughout the year. But let's say you max that out and you spent spent $6,000 in each one of those categories on groceries, online retail, and gas, that would be $180 of cash back per category for a total of $540 of cash back for your first year. Now, after spending over $6,000 in each one of those categories, you would then just go down to earning only 1% cash back. But if you plan it out right and you track your spending and do other good things like that, then you could just swap in any other cards from this video, including maybe the next one at the top of our list that I'll get to in just a minute here. Then, in addition to getting all that cash back on the Blue Cash every day, you're also gonna get a credit for $7 per month on Disney Plus, which doesn't cover the full cost of that subscription. But if you're already paying for Disney Plus anyway, then that basically just adds $84 in savings per year from that credit. And then you've also got a $15 monthly Home Chef credit, which adds up to potentially $180 in savings each year if you're getting value from that service. So all of that for no annual fee makes this another no-brainer cashback card that anyone might want to have in their wallet. And there also is a more premium version of this card called the Blue Cash Preferred Card that costs $95 per year with no annual fee in your first year. So I just wanted to mention that card here as another option that you have that you can always check out as well and earn even more cash back, like 6% back on groceries on up to $6,000 of spending per year. But you're gonna have to go ahead and do some math for yourself to figure out if that preferred card is better for you than the no annual fee everyday card based on whatever your budget is. Now, the next credit card here for number one on our list might be just as good or maybe even better than the last one because it's gonna be earning you unlimited cash back in a number of great ways with no spending cap, and that would be the Capital One Savor One Rewards card. Now, the Savor One card has no annual fee and gets unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, popular streaming services, and at grocery stores. Plus, you get a $200 sign-up bonus, which is the same amount as the Blue Cash every day, but you only have to spend $500 right now to get that bonus compared to $2,000 on that Amex card. And again, credit card offers are always changing out there, so go ahead and check out the links down below if you want to know what the best current offers are whenever you're watching this video. The Capital One Savor One also has a limited time partner benefit right now through November 14th, 2024, where you can get 10% back on Uber rides and Uber Eats, as well as a statement credit to cover the cost of a monthly Uber One membership. And you can even earn 5% cash back on hotels and rental cars that you book through Capital One's travel portal. Plus, there's no foreign transaction fees, which again is a really cool thing to have on a no annual fee credit card. Now, like the last card we talked about, the Savor One card also has a slightly more premium version that's just called the Savor card, and that has a $95 annual fee and it gets 4% back on dining, entertainment, and streaming, but still 3% back on groceries. So again, you can check out that card if you think your spending might get you a little bit more value in cash back from that card to make the annual fee worth it. But honestly, I really only like annual fees on travel credit cards and not on cashback cards because to me, cashback should be all about simplicity and not overthinking your setup. Now, because I prefer a travel credit card setup to get a bit more value and a bit more upside, if you want to see what I think are the best travel credit cards out there, then definitely go ahead and check out this video over here on the screen next. Or if you want to find out how you can go ahead and increase your credit score in 5 easy steps, that way you can get approved for pretty much any credit card you might want, then go ahead and check out this video over here. But as always, thank you so much for watching.